I mean, you feel it. You actually feel the fear before you actually see the entity. Mm-hmm. And
so a person like you, we would think that you would not be afraid because you are so conscious of your interaction with these beings that I'm surprised to hear you say that you're actually afraid. Are you afraid to this day, or are you talking
when I have
past
these
tense?
incidences happen, yeah, you still have that fear. I mean, that fear is there.
Okay.
Even more so because you can feel the fear they have.
Okay.
We're a very dangerous species.
Sure.
So you better believe if they fall into our hands, there is that fear.
Okay. So, and this is part of the reason why I'm going to assume they approach you as a communicator or interfacer, as you call it, right?
Well, they're very concerned about our well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say that can't be so. Yeah, they are. We've done terrible things to ourselves. And they know this. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to understand certain things about us. And I think at the same time they're exchanging information saying, hey, here's what you've done to yourself. I think that ties in a lot with some of the abductions that have taken place. I think it ties in with some of the cattle mutilations that have taken place. And I think it ties in with some of the people absolutely disappearing off the face of the earth.
Okay, so there are people that are disappearing on a regular basis, right?
Oh, yes.
And they're going to other planets. They're going to off-world bases, I'm assuming?
I don't have the answer to that.
Okay.
Now, if you're asking me if I could have left here, possibly. But, like I say, there's a purpose. And I don't know what that purpose is.
Is your mission to make people aware not only of the other entities out there and other, races and so on, but is it also to perhaps prepare or to warn of some event? Because you seem to be alluding to some event that you don't even know about.
As 2 points far out, they're becoming closer and closer together. To eventually, and we ultimately know it's going to happen, contact's going to be made. The NASA Department of Astrobiology held a conference in 2000. Forget the Brookings Institute report. This report came out and said, we don't really know what world reaction would be. It's a small report. How many people have read that report? How many people even know about it? When we say that we can accept the reality of visitors being here, we mean us ourselves. But even when we can accept that, how many of us are really ready for that face-to-face confrontation? And I can tell you, each time it's different. Each time there is that little something in the back of your mind that says, what's going to happen here? Mm-hmm. And each time you know that if something goes wrong, it could equate to the loss of life. Not because they're dangerous, but we're a danger to ourselves. So the whole situation is, how do you prepare a world population for that ultimate contact, which isn't, as astroastronomers used to believe, that it's going to be by a radio signal from deep space coming here. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be face to face, and it's going to happen on our planet.
Sure. Well, it's happening daily with the military, is it not? I mean...
Oh, more so than what people really know. But here again, most people aren't going to talk about it.
Right.
The one thing you want when you get out of the military, the one thing you want more than anything, is to be normal.
Why? Why do you want to be normal?
To me, the greatest thing you can be is a servant. Taking care of other people is the most important thing. The self should get gratification from being able to help other people. That's important. But all too often, people will put themselves ahead of others. And right there is where we have the problems today in today's world.
I guess to get back to where you were saying there's going to be contact, in a sense, you are in the forefront, a person who can prepare the rest of humanity for this actual contact, because you've been having contact. And in a sense, the aliens or the off-worlders have basically been communicating, been choosing the people around the planet to communicate with, of which you are one, right? And so contact is something that is being prepared for as we speak. Is it not?
Worldwide.
Okay. And are you thinking, a lot of people like to say it's going to happen for the world to see, aliens are going to land on the White House lawn, something of this nature.
No.
And it's in a certain sense, it's going on every day. The military is dealing with, certainly they've captured, as you say, they're holding prisoner some of these entities. We've also had treaties with some of the races, have we not?
Okay, I've heard about the treaties, but here again, that's not part of something I'd work with.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you this, I think by 2016 that something better have happened, because at 2016 I think we're going to have to announce to the world that there's a probe that comes very close to the Earth every 15, 20 years. We've been calling it an asteroid. It's not an asteroid. Mm-hmm. But it actually, in reality, is an artificial probe. In other words, somebody else put it here. They have found us a long time ago. The technology will probably be pretty much on par to, say, Voyager. It will be old, antiquated technology by all their standards.
So what are you saying? This probe, do you know what
we
race?
Already found it.
Uh-huh.
Our paradigm says that it can't be a artificial craft of any sort. Therefore, we refuse to accept that and we call it an asteroid. I'm talking about BG 1991, roughly 30 meters in diameter. Highly polished surface. Asteroids don't have a high polished surface. Took corrective course changes to avoid collision with another asteroid. That don't happen. Mm-hmm. This one it did.
So, what race is this from? What planet, do you know?
I don't know.
Do you think that the aliens have given you an upgrade, have modified your DNA in any way? Are you aware that that your abilities have been augmented or have grown?
Yeah, but you try not to use those because you know of things that's going to happen before they happen. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you can't do anything to change them. Like I didn't know who, but I knew one of my kids was going to get killed on a motorcycle. And that's hard. Before my son was killed, on the Wednesday prior to that, I knew that he parked the motorcycle in the back of the car. I knew I could go ahead, back up over it, and run over it a couple of times. But I also knew that the family would not understand that I did that to stop what was, let me rephrase that, as an attempt to stop what I knew was going to happen.
So you're a precog. This is what they call a precog. You knew in the future before it happened, and that you were not able to necessarily change it or stop it. But there's a reason why things happen. You must agree.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So, in a sense, that must be a piece for you, because it's not just that you know, but also souls know what might happen. Souls are aware. In other words, we're all aware when we're going to die. We may not know it consciously, but we do know, right? So in that sense, I mean, it's not your responsibility either to prevent a happening or not, if that's something, in a sense, that we as souls agreed to the scenario happening, right?
Well, like I say, with them, they can even communicate with what we call the other side. But even at that, given their advanced technology, there are still forbidden questions.
Okay.